Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne and I'm a Chinese metaphysics master in Hong Kong. Today we're going to continue with my series on the chakras and your Bazi chart. And in fact, this is the 6th video on chakra. So if you haven't seen the previous ones, just go check my channel. There's going to be a lot on the chakra blocks starting from the root chakra. And today we are focusing on the third eye chakra. And we are going to check how you can analyze whether or not you have a third eye chakra block that you've brought in at a very early age, or maybe from a past life if you're believing in past lives, or whether that somehow is already inherent in your childhood, and obviously what it means and how you can resolve this. So let's take a look. Now, the first thing you need to do is plot your Bazi chart. This is very simple. You can just go to this link. I will also post it in the notes to this video. You just copy paste it and then you can just plot your chart. If you are not sure about the exact birth time, this is not so critical for this particular analysis, so don't worry too much about it. The rest surely you will know. So once you plot this chart, you will get something that's a little bit bigger than this, a little bit more complex, but what we are focusing on is this part of the chart, which is what we call the natal chart. And more specifically, we are focusing on these two components here. This is what we call the month stem. Yeah, this is the stem and this is the month pillar. So we're focusing on the top part of the month pillar and the year branch. So this is the animal sign that you have in the year. The rest of the chart is not relevant for this particular analysis. It's really just those two components. So the month stem versus the year branch. The relationship between these two components or these two elements will tell us whether or not you have a sort of block in your third eye chakra or not. Now, what you need to pay attention to is just the element that you have present here and here. So as you can see in the month stem, we have the earth element, and in the year branch, we have the wood element. Don't worry so much about the actual animal sign or the Chinese pronunciation or whether it's a yin or yang element. It doesn't matter. It's really just the actual element that you need to check. So here we've got earth and we've got wood. Now, chakra block is indicated by the relationship between these two elements, earth and wood. You may have different ones. You may have water, fire, metal. Yeah, just take note of these two. Now, if both of these are the same element, so if both are earth or both are wood or both are fire, then there's definitely not third eye chakra block indicated, so you don't have to worry about anything. There's no block there, not an inherent block anyway. You may at a later point in life bring that block in through an external event, but it's not there from a natal perspective. Now, in all the other circumstances, you will have to check whether you have a countering relationship between these two elements, the top stem element and the bottom branch element. And here is how you see a chakra block. Yeah, chakra block is indicated by an elemental countering, and there are only 5 types. There are only 5 types of counterings. If one is fire and the other one is metal, then you have a countering. If one is metal, the other one is wood, this also indicates a countering. If one is wood and the other one is earth, that's a countering. And as you remember in the example, the top one in the month stem is earth and the branch in the year is wood. Therefore, as you can see, we do indeed have a countering, and it's this one here. It doesn't matter which one is on top and which one is at the bottom. As long as these two elements are present, this indicates a countering and therefore a third eye chakra block. So the person in our example does have a third eye chakra block. Then we also got earth and water, or water and fire. So if you have any of those 5 elemental counterings present, then you do have a third eye chakra block. If both elements are the same, there's no block. And if there's any other elemental combination or relationship, also there's no block present. There's only 5 possibilities, and these are the ones indicated here on the slide. Now, what does this actually affect? Yeah, what does this mean if you have a third eye chakra block? So if you do have a third eye chakra block indicated already or present in a natal chart, then this is something that can harm or affect in a negative way anything that has to do with your imagination, with your vision, with your intuition. Yeah, maybe your gut feeling is either always wrong, or you don't really feel like you can trust your gut feeling, or you don't have a gut feeling. Yeah, there's some people who are just very matter of fact. They never really listen to their intuition or their gut feeling or anything like that. They're just like matter of fact, yeah, give me the facts and figures, and that's what I base my decisions on. This could also be a third eye chakra block indicator, because you are not really connected to source, and it's not necessarily anything bad. It's just how people are wired. But it can also impact your imagination, your vision. So if you cannot ever imagine or visualize a positive future for yourself, yeah, this could be one of the reasons you may have a third eye chakra block. Yeah, or everything you always imagine is negative. And then your big picture thinking is also implicated. When you see this type of block in your chart, you don't really see the big picture, or you're too focused on the small details to actually be able to think outside the box. Yeah, this could all be affected by a third eye chakra block. Now, the symptoms then are very similar, obviously, to the kind of aspects that are affected. You may experience some of them, or maybe all of them. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes if it's just a slight block or not such a serious one, then you may not have those all of those symptoms, but you will probably feel one of them. Very often you may be suffering from headaches and migraines. Yeah, like chronic migraines. And there's something really, really terrible about that. They're super painful and super annoying. So headaches and migraines are something that can really, really negatively impact your life and your ability to function. And this can be the result or a symptom of a third eye chakra block, because once you get these headaches and these migraines, you're really not able to think anymore. Yeah, even thinking hurts. Hearing problems are also often a symptom of this type of block, because anything that has to do with your ability to perceive information or hear information, process information, think about information, yeah, all of these aspects are affected by this type of block. Eye problems as well. Yeah, you're not really able to see, whether that is metaphorically or actual physically. Yeah, you may not really be seeing clearly. You need very strong eyeglasses or contact lenses. Yeah, or as I mentioned earlier, you don't really see a positive future for yourself. It could also lead to a lack of concentration or the inability to concentrate. Yeah, if you're constantly distracted, you're totally scatterbrained, you're never able to focus on anything, this could also be a symptom of a third eye chakra block. And then lastly, you may also just be a little bit out of touch with reality. Maybe you believe things that are not true. Yeah, you fall for fake news, for example, or you constantly fall for scams because you're not really able to see clearly what the truth is. Yeah, so these are some of the symptoms. There are many, many more, but these are the most noticeable ones if you have a third eye chakra block. Now, what causes this? Yeah, especially if you already see it in a natal chart. A third eye chakra block is very often caused if you are brought up in a household where you have extremely strict rules and routines. If you have very strict rules and routines, you're not really allowed to think outside the box, try new things, to intuitively act. Yeah, you always act based on what the routine says or what the rule says, but not based on what your gut tells you. And so over time, you will kind of, over time, your intuition just dies off, or is just suppressed to such a level that you have very little access to it. And therefore, that can then lead to no spiritual development, or a stunted spiritual development. Yeah, you're ignoring your intuition and your gut feeling. If you are brought up by parents who are, as I said, extremely fact-based, yeah, they do not believe in any sort of in anything that is not tangible, and you only focus on facts and figures, that's the only this is the only basis on which you rely for your decision making, then gut feeling and intuition doesn't even come into the picture, right? And so you don't even know that you could have intuitive decision making abilities. And then also, if you are surrounded by people who have no positive vision for the future, this will obviously impact your own vision for the future. So if you're always surrounded by naysayers, always surrounded by people who just think of the worst case scenario, always surrounded by people who just plan for the worst rather than looking at what good could come into their lives, then this could also be a cause for a third eye chakra block from a very early age on, because this is, as a child, obviously you absorb all these things. You think this is how life is, this is how you need to act as well, and therefore the third eye chakra block is created right there at an early age. Now, there are a few strategies that you can employ in order to solve this block. These are just a few suggestions. There are other ways to solve this. You can Google this. Yeah, there's quite a lot of material online. But you could first try to get in touch with your gut feeling and your intuition again, yeah, by using positive affirmations about your intuition, such as, I trust my gut feeling, I trust my intuition, I intuitively know what to do, I always know what to do based on my intuition. Something like that, yeah, just phrase it in such a way that it feels right for you. But it has to be a positive affirmation about your intuition and your ability to take decisions based on your intuition. Also, what helps is to find some sort of way to calm your mind and your thoughts, because the more inner peace you have, the more intuition actually penetrates, or is able to penetrate. If you're constantly thinking about 100 different things, or you are constantly multitasking and doing 10 different things at the same time, intuition can't even come in, because you're too busy. You're not letting anything penetrate. So inner peace meditations, in order to calm your mind and your thoughts, is very, very important. And again, there is plenty of material online. You can look out for that. You can download one of those meditations. They're quite nice, and they don't take that long. And then do nothing. Yeah, this sounds actually quite easy, but it's not. If you've ever tried to just sit down for 5 minutes and not do anything, you will know how difficult that is. Because we're always doing something. Even when you sit down and you try to quiet your mind, you are doing something, you're quieting your mind. Yeah, so doing nothing is actually quite difficult. To just be and sort of let go and not think anything, not doing anything, not feeling how what your bum feels like against the chair you're sitting on. Yeah, the moment you notice these things, you're actually doing something. So doing nothing is quite difficult. I personally have difficulty with that, because my mind is always all over the place. But maybe for you this works quite well. Just do that for 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day. See whether that works for you. Just try to completely disconnect and maybe float in in the clouds or whatever, and really not think about anything, don't feel anything, don't intuit anything, and just become completely empty. And then intuition will be able to enter as well. And then, of course, you can also daydream and visualize. So for those who have a difficult time doing nothing, daydreaming and visualizations are much, much easier, because this allows you to just visualize, obviously only visualize positive things, and daydream about a perfect life, and just, you know, put yourself in really positive, nice, beautiful scenarios, and just think about that for like 10-15 minutes. Just be in those moments. Maybe just think about a nice vacation, or being in nature and taking a walk, or just going out with friends. Just think about it, visualize how it makes you feel, what you will think in those situations, what you hear in these situations, what you see. Just train your senses, yeah, in essence. And this will over time make you much more susceptible to your own intuitive thoughts, your gut feelings, and then over time also to your ability to take decisions based on gut feeling and intuition. All right, so I hope this helped. I hope you learned a little bit about your third eye chakra, and also, of course, about Bazi astrology. I would really love it if you liked the video, if you subscribe to my channel. That would be even better. If you put a comment in the notes, in the comment section, if you have any questions, that's also great. Always love to hear from you, and I will see you soon.